Hey, welcome back, everyone, to the International Wealth Builders Association radio talk show on KCAA Broadcasting Network. I'm your host, LaToyaTillett, and I'm here today with Briana Prince, founder of Truleg. And so is that called Truleg Insurance Company, or it's just Truleg?
Just Truleg.
Okay, I'm here with the founder of Truleg, and she offers insurance products and asset protections that can help you out, as you're planning your investment strategies or just your family planning, deciding on what's going to happen in the event of an untimely death or something in, your family. So not trying to depress you guys out here. These are real conversations that we need to be having because a lot of us do not have these conversations. And it's unfortunate, at the end when you're not able to bury a loved one or you're having to borrow money or do car washes when, you could have saved yourself by having a policy and a way to protect your yourself and your assets. So, Briana, before we left, you were telling us some interesting stories with some different clientele that you have.
Right.
So, what type of products do you offer exactly?
Yeah, so with life insurance, you have the two main types of life insurance is term life and whole life insurance. And then we have different concepts, mortgage protection, final expense. Mm-hmm. So those are pretty much the main ones that we look into.
Okay.
It's just a matter, the most important thing is finding out what someone's looking for or, asking questions. So I love to ask questions to find out where the need is.
Oh, okay. Great. So with the mortgage protection, is that only for like a primary residence?
So mortgage protection, so keep in mind, a lot of these are concepts, so a lot of times people think there's actually a difference between mortgage protection and life insurance.
Okay, but there's not.
No, now don't get me wrong, there's definitely some companies that, actually tie it to the mortgage, but the majority of the time, no, it's just life insurance. For example, let's say, you have a 30-year mortgage, so you want to get a life insurance policy that's going to cover you for 30 years. Okay. If your mortgage is for $500,000, you get a $500,000 policy that's going to last you for 30 years. So basically, essentially doing the same thing. But the way the policy works is even if you were to, let's say you get that policy as soon as you get your mortgage, and then something happens 20 years from now. Well, of course, your mortgage is probably not going to still be at $500,000, but that's the amount that would go to your beneficiary, whoever you have.
Okay.
So the money actually goes directly to your beneficiary, not the lender, which is a good thing.
Nice. I like that.
So they can actually take that money, pay off the mortgage, and then whatever's left over, they have free reign to do whatever they want with it.
Okay. So you hear that? You get mortgage protection to protect your personal family home. Now, how does it work if someone invests? Can they do mortgage protection on their investments, or is it only for the single family or their primary residence?
So again, it's not tied to the mortgage. Okay. So yes, absolutely everybody could get it. The goal or what you have to figure out is what it's actually being used for.
Right.
And the cool thing too, a lot of people don't know, and this is with mortgage protection, without mortgage protection, but since we're talking about mortgage protection, I'll kind of focus more on that.
Okay.
But there's a product out there called a returner premium. So it's a term life insurance policy, but it's a rider that comes on the policy.
Oh, okay.
So basically, the way it works is it gives you all your money back after your term period, right? So for example,
really?
So using that example that I was using earlier, a $500,000 policy for 30 years.
Okay.
So most people know about traditional term life insurance. You pay the premiums every single year.
Yes.
Until it expires,
Right.
So on a 30-year, it'll last you for 30 years. And then at the end of 30 years, it expires, it terminates, right? So with the return of premium, after 30 years, the policy does expire, but it gives you all your money back. So you don't lose anything. I like to see it as a win-win. And a lot of people love that product because, I love statistics.
Yes. Okay. Give us
and
the
so
stats.
I got my first return of premium policy. I think I was 24 or 25 when I got it. I think I was 24. Anyway, I'm like, okay, well, statistically speaking,
right,
in 30 years, I'll be 54. In other words, statistically speaking, I'll still be living.
Yes.
Now, obviously, life is unpredictable. Who knows? Something can happen before then. But statistically speaking, I'm still going to be here.
Okay.
So with that being said, I'm like, well, I'm not going to throw away money like that. You
Right.
know, I'm not married. I don't have kids. So,
Okay,
you know, I
okay.
mostly got my life insurance, my return of premium policy for the savings component. It was a way for me to
Okay.
force myself to save every single month. And then at the end of the 30 years, I'm going to get all the money back anyway.
Right.
Now, with the company that I have my policy with, they actually do two different things that I love.
Oh,
So,
okay. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So they have two options. So originally I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to get all my money back after the 30 years, which I still might do. I don't know. I kind of jump between it, but I've kind of changed to their other option where the other option is to let the insurance company keep the money and then they'll give me a reduced paid up life insurance policy. So basically for that policy, I pay $100 a month for it. So it's not much. It's $100 a month. And after 30 years, you know, that's $36,000. So I can either get a check for the $36,000 or tell them, hey, keep that $36,000 and that'll buy me $18,000 of life insurance.
Wow.
Paid up life insurance. So I don't have to ever pay into it again. It's paid up. You know, whenever I pass away, you know, my family just claims it.
Okay.
It's great. It's fantastic.
That's an interesting product. That's one I haven't really heard of.
Yeah, most people, you know, it surprises me because I think that the whole aspect of return of premium is really great. Now, of course, you have some people who say, well, aren't you better off just investing that money because you do pay a little bit more for it?
Right.
Aren't you better off just investing the money? Maybe. You know, and I think.
But that is an investment.
I mean, it's a saving. It's a savings component. It's a savings component because you're not getting any kind of interest off of it or anything. People love to say, "Oh, you can just put that money or invest it in something or whatever," and it's like
to grow more for you.
You know, right? But here's the problem: it's a great idea in theory, but how many people actually do it?
Like,
I mean,
less than 1%.
Yes,
probably.
Exactly, and that's the problem. At least this way, because I don't even think twice about it.
Right.
So over the past 6 years or so, I've been saving this money, and I don't think twice about it because it's not like I'm physically having to, you know, take the money and put it away or anything. No, I turned it into a policy, and then great thing is, if I die, there's a death benefit attached to it, so it's a win-win.
Right.
I'm good if I die because then my family gets a death benefit, but if I don't, then I get all my money back, which is what I expect anyway.
Right.
So it's so sometimes, especially with young people. Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna die. I'm so young. I don't need life insurance. Okay, well, yeah, but I'm 30 years old. I have known so many people to pass away, and it's from different things. It's been car accidents, aneurysms, cancer, just unknown reasons, you know. It's just a part of life, and so to not be prepared, especially when you have a family.
Yes, especially when you have a family.
Yeah, you definitely, and especially because life insurance is not as expensive as people think. It's not at all. Right. So even like I
know that's usually one of the first bills to go. You know, it's like when people start falling on hard times, they're like, again, we don't need this life insurance policy. Save that $30-$40 a month. You know, but that's the one you should keep.
Yeah, absolutely, because you know, and this is a perfect example. Literally just a couple months ago, I met up with one of my colleagues, and he was telling me how, actually I was there when he got a phone call that one of his clients had passed away.
Oh my gosh.
But the thing that was interesting about that is that a couple months prior to that, the wife called in to cancel the policy.
Whoa.
Literally a couple months before he passed away. Wow. They had no idea.
Really?
And unfortunately, you know,
now you don't have.
There's nothing that could be done. Yeah.
Wow.
And so, you know, she was upset. She ended up saying, "Oh no, I never called in," but they're all calls are recorded. You know. Then when you cancel a policy with an insurance company, they definitely do their job to make sure that you know, because you run into instances where people say stuff like that. Right. And I get it. I do get it because you know you were paying it for years. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you canceled it a couple months. If only you would have known, you would have kept that policy.
Of course.
Goodness. And I felt so bad for her. Oh, I felt so bad.
Very, very sad.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
We had a similar situation like that with my dad.
He
had life insurance, and he had prepared it the night before because it had lapsed, and so he was reinstating it. He filled out the paperwork and everything, and he literally died the next morning.
No way.
Yeah.
See,
just suddenly.
You know what, LaToya, I hear stories literally all the time, and it's those stories that you would say, "Oh, that's never gonna happen to me." Yeah, it happens every day to people. It's crazy. It's so crazy. And again, this is how
unpredictable.
It is, absolutely. And this is how I got so interested in staying involved in the life insurance industry and actually wanting to help people, because
Right.
it's like, I realize how important it is. And I'm just like, I don't believe in waiting anymore. It's gotten to a point where, with all these stories and my experience in being in the industry,
Right.
I'm like, look, before you go to the doctor, make sure you have your life insurance
Get your
policy.
life insurance policy first.
Just because, like, there was a lady. So back in 2019, I started going out to Vegas and working out in our office out there a lot.
Okay.
I was in Vegas literally every month. I would spend a week in Vegas, just
Wow.
working in that area, not doing the whole
course, of
typical
course.
Vegas stuff.
Of course.
People
yeah.
would laugh at
hey,
me.
we do go to Vegas to work. I've gone to Vegas to work before too.
Yeah,
so
people
I
were like, "Oh, did
understand.
you go to the casino? No. Did you
Like
go
that.
clubbing? No. I was
No,
working."
I was working.
Yeah. But anyway, I had met a lady. So I was helping out our office out there.
Mm-hmm.
And they just had a lot of appointments and not enough agents. I was going out there back then. And so I ended up meeting, so one of the guys couldn't make, he had double booked himself and he didn't realize. So I ended up taking over that meeting. And when I went to meet with the lady, I already had all her health information, right? And so I'm meeting with her and I'm reviewing everything to make sure. And she's like, okay, well, something did change. I'm like, okay. And she was like, well, the reason why I couldn't meet with your guy yesterday is because I had a doctor's appointment. She ended up finding out at that doctor's appointment that she had cancer.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, I was so mad, man.
Oh,
I'm like,
because then
yeah,
the policy.
yeah, because obviously now she has to answer yes to the fact that she has cancer, and she
Right.
currently has it. Unfortunately, an insurance company is not going to take on that risk because you currently have the cancer. Now, there are companies that will offer coverage, but what they'll do is they'll put on a 2-year wait period on the policy.
Right.
So you have to outlive that 2
I was
years
gonna
for
ask
the
about
policy.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So which is great. It's great in those situations. But man, if only she had got that policy the day before.
The day before
man.
she went to the
Oh
doctor.
my
Oh my
goodness.
gosh, she could have been
I
in
was
there.
so mad.
Oh my
Gosh, I was so
goodness.
mad.
Well,
But I've heard
yeah.
that stuff quite a few times. So yeah.
Wow, that's so crazy. So you guys hear how important it is to not wait until the last minute. Go ahead and get that life insurance policy started. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and I will see you guys in about 2 minutes.